What's going on, YouTube? Man, I'm in, where am I at? Oh, I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. And for those of you guys who have ever seen Lexington, man, Lexington is a beautiful place. Man, I mean, you'll see like huge houses with like grass and land that goes on forever. And the grass out here is a little different. That's why they call it the bluegrass state, I guess you can say. And the first day I got out here, I saw William Shatner. It was funny. I was at my wife and I were at the gas pump, and I hear this guy over here. He's making all kinds of noise or whatever kind of deal, and it sounds like William Shatner, but I'm just driving around, whatever kind of deal, and then all of a sudden, there is William Shatner, because I guess what he does is he has a horse farm out here. But let me get serious real quick. Basically what I want to talk about today is measurements. And this is what I mean by that. I think in life, man, when it comes to finance, when it comes to anything you do, there's a lot of measurements that go on. Like, for instance, if there is nothing, I don't think, I'll put it like this, 90% of the things in the world today that go on, you can control. They're within your control. Perfect example. If you see a guy that's 400 and something pounds, I mean, he's just like a big slob, right? He can control that. If you were to walk up to that guy and say, look, I think, man, you need to lose a little weight. Or I think that you're unbelievably obese. You know, you need to do something about that. You need to change something about that. That's not a mean thing, because if that person was to watch what they eat, maybe drink water, stay away from the sugary foods, try not to eat fried foods, eventually all their weight will begin to shred off. But what keeps people from achieving these things are motivation, laziness, lack of motivation, laziness, and environment. Many other things, whatever. So if they were to change those things, you'll find success. Same thing with finance. I think money is a measurement of who you are. If you have a lack of money, it could be for a number of reasons. One, lack of financial knowledge. Two, maybe addicted to shopping, addicted to gambling, alcoholic. Just have a low self-esteem, meaning that you have to keep up with the Joneses is what they call it, whatever. If your neighbor gets a Mercedes, you got to get a bigger Mercedes. If your neighbor gets a plasma, you got to get a bigger plasma. You got to get two. You know what I'm saying? So that's also is measured by what you put into it. Because if you're sitting at home and you're feeling like, man, I'm a douchebag, man, I can't get things right, man, look at me, I'm a slut, it can be controlled, right? So the best thing, I'm gonna give you three things, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. Didn't plan for this, whatever, before I made this video. Let's go over it. One thing you can do, totally, and I talked about this before, you gotta change your environment. When you're around great people, you start to do great things, because great people don't allow douchebags, right? They don't allow douchebags around. This is why they're great. They broke away from that environment. You need to be around strong people. You need to have if your wife is strong, stay around her. Stay away from the guys that say you can't do this, you can't do that. That sounds like too big of an idea, or whatever, you know? Stay away from those guys, okay? Number two, okay? We said, your environment is key, whatever, Get a plan together. Before you go to bed at night, write down what you want to do for the next day. Visualize what's that look like. Visualize you actually completing tasks and moving. Let's say, for instance, you're 400 pounds or you want to lose some weight, whatever. Like for me, I want to lose some weight. So what I'm doing now is I said, look, I'm going to write me a 5-day plan. I'm going to get some whey protein. I want to have my meals every day pretty much look like a piece of meat, some colorful, maybe 2 colorful vegetables throughout the day, whey protein, and in the morning time maybe some fruit. and stay away from the sugary sodas. Just water is what I need right now. With those things, eventually I will get the results that I want. This is why I say some things can be controlled. Most things can be controlled. So, if you have a low self-esteem, stop dwelling on it. If you feel like, man, you know, I wish I was smarter than this or smarter than that, whatever kind of deal, don't dwell on it. Write down your list, visualize yourself doing it, visualize yourself saying, hey, if I complete these tasks on this paper, I am moving in the direction of being great. See, you know, I make these videos not just for other people. I make them for myself because I feel I'm a long way from where I really want to be. So, in order to do that, they say that if you want to change something, if you want to do something, whatever, first you should read about it. Second, you should teach someone. No, excuse me, I'm out of order. First, you should read about it. Second, you should do it. Then, you should teach someone. Right? So that's what I'm doing. Because everybody doesn't have it together. There are some people who watch videos and things like that. They're trying to get it together. They haven't made their moves yet. They're talking about it. Because that's another thing right there. Are you one of those people that are like, man, next year, I'm going to work out like crazy. I'm going to have my finances together. I'm going to go ahead and push next year, man. I'm going to have everything together next year. You know what? If you're having thoughts like that right now, stop it. Because you know next year is going to turn into next year, and next year is going to turn into next year. As soon as you have the thought right there, here's the magic piece of that. Do it then. When that thought comes in your mind, it's basically telling you, hey man, I'm ready to start when you are. Okay? So, when you say, hey, I'm going to go January 1st, I'm going to the gym. Nope. That day. Buy you some workout clothes and go to the gym that day and never stop. Because procrastination will be your worst enemy. Right? Because as soon as you start having those thoughts like that, whatever, you know, I'm telling you, you're talking to a guy who had practiced that at one time. You're not gonna do it next. You're not gonna do it next year. You're not gonna do it next week. Do it then. You know. So I'm not gonna stay on this long, but just some kind of words, some encouragement to help all of us stay on the right path and keep going. Also, too, I'm going to get ready to start a blog TV episode here where I can just kind of like bring people, like-minded people together, whatever. We can sit down and we can kind of make some things happen. So I'm thinking during the weekend, man, sometimes I'm busy. So I'm thinking right now, you know, like Tuesday or something like that, whatever. I really don't have anything going on Tuesday. I'm thinking more like Tuesday. I'm sure, like, you know, subscribers and things, you know, everyone has the things they do in the daytime. So I'm thinking about Tuesday around maybe 8. I said Tuesday 9 Central. That way, I think people can come home, they can eat, you know, what kind of thing. And, you know, no time for riffraffs. Just guys and gals that are coming on here to better themselves. We're not going to talk about, we're not going to waste your time for an hour or two, whatever. I'm just going to get on here and we're going to talk about topics and talk about things that we all need to do in order to be successful. So, until next time, sign off, guys.